Imagine standing on the precipice of absolute destruction, the fate of not just your world, but an entire universe resting in your hands. Now, imagine the only way to save it is to extinguish another. This isn't a hypothetical ethical dilemma from a philosophy class, it's a choice the Avengers have actually had to make. For all their superhuman strength, their advanced technology, and their unwavering courage, the Avengers are defined not just by their epic battles against cosmic threats, but by the impossible choices they've been forced to confront. These are the moments that truly reveal their character, exposing the raw, often heartbreaking reality of wielding immense power with the responsibility to protect all life. It's a burden few could bear, and it's why their stories resonate so deeply. They aren't simply about good versus evil, they're about the profound moral gray areas that test the very definition of heroism. Let's journey back to Operation Galactic Storm, a sprawling cosmic conflict that drew Earth's mightiest heroes into a devastating interstellar war between the Kree and Shi'ar empires. The war culminated in the Kree homeworld being ravaged by the Negabomb, a weapon of unthinkable power that annihilated billions. The architect of this genocide was the Supreme Intelligence, the Kree's organic computer collective. The Avengers captured this entity, but the question quickly arose, what now? There was no galactic court, no interspecies prison equipped to hold or justly punish such a being for such a crime. The option of execution, of ending its existence to ensure it could never again inflict such horrors, was presented. Imagine that moment, a villain of unparalleled cruelty, yet still a sentient being, at their mercy. Captain America, ever the moral compass, vehemently opposed it, arguing that to execute was to descend to the enemy's level, to abandon their principles. But others, weary from the war, scarred by the immense loss of life, saw a horrifying necessity. Iron Man, Thor, and Vision ultimately made the dreadful decision, believing it was the only way to prevent future atrocities. The team was fractured, their ideals tested to their very limits. It was a choice born of desperation and the horrifying truth that sometimes there is no right answer, only the least terrible one. Years later, the world faced another crisis, one that didn't come from the stars but from within. Civil war ignited when a horrific superhero-related incident in Stamford, Connecticut led to public outcry and the Sokovia Accords. This legislation demanded that all superpowered individuals register with the government, operate under oversight, and essentially become government assets. The choice presented was stark: security versus freedom. Iron Man, burdened by the weight of past destruction and the increasing public fear, championed the Accords. He believed accountability was paramount, that unchecked power, even benevolent power, was too dangerous. He envisioned a safer world, even if it meant sacrificing some personal liberty. On the other side stood Captain America, the unwavering symbol of freedom and self-determination. He argued that forcing heroes to register and submit to government control was a slippery slope to tyranny, that a hero's conscience, not a government mandate, should guide their actions. Friends became foes, ideals clashed violently, and the very foundation of the Avengers was torn apart. There were no villains here, only two deeply moral men, each convinced they were doing what was necessary, each willing to fight for their beliefs. The emotional cost was immeasurable, leaving scars that would last for years, highlighting the agonizing truth that sometimes the greatest threats come not from external enemies, but from irreconcilable differences among those sworn to protect. But perhaps no choice weighed heavier, no moral quandary was more chilling than the one faced during the incursions. This was a multiversal apocalypse where parallel Earths were colliding, threatening to destroy entire universes. The only way to save one Earth from being annihilated was to destroy the other, to commit genocide on a cosmic scale to ensure the survival of your own reality. Imagine the crushing weight of that decision, standing on your world, looking at another, knowing that if you don't act, both will be annihilated. If you do, you become a mass murderer on a scale unimaginable. Reed Richards, T'Challa, Namor, Dr. Doom, brilliant minds and powerful leaders all wrestling with this ultimate trolley problem. They tried every alternative, every desperate measure, but ultimately the choice loomed: destroy or be destroyed. The moments leading up to these decisions and the acts themselves were filled with unimaginable grief, despair, and quiet horror. They were forced to cross a line that no hero, no human should ever have to cross, bearing a stain on their souls for the sake of survival. It was the ultimate sacrifice of their moral purity, a testament to the fact that even for the mightiest heroes, there are moments where all that's left is the desperate, heartbreaking struggle to choose the least terrible cosmic evil. These aren't just fictional stories, they are profound explorations of ethics, power, and responsibility. The Avengers' history is a tapestry woven with moments of impossible choices, demonstrating that true heroism isn't about infallibility, but about the agonizing process of decision-making in the face of insurmountable odds. It's about grappling with the consequences, living with the burdens, and continuing to fight for a better tomorrow even when yesterday's choices still echo with pain. These moral quandaries remind us that power is not a gift, but a tremendous responsibility. And sometimes the most heroic act is simply choosing to carry that burden, no matter how heavy it becomes. What are your thoughts on these difficult choices? Which one do you think was the most agonizing for the Avengers to make? Share your perspectives in the comments below. And if you found this exploration compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more journeys into the heart of our favorite stories.